Okay, here's a second video on special right triangles. So hopefully you've done the work for this already. You should have. If not, pause it and go back and do that worksheet. But here I have what we're going to call a 30, 60, 90 triangle, right? Just like the 45, 45, 90, 30, 60, 90 degrees due to the angles of the triangle. And what we learned in the worksheet is this comes from half of an isosceles triangle, which I'll kind of draw it in here, right? So if this is x, this is 2x. What we're going to do, right, what we're going to show is what this side is, okay? And again, hopefully you've done this, but this is what it should have looked like. X squared plus question mark squared equals 2x squared. So x squared plus question mark squared equals 4x squared, which means that question mark squared is 3x squared. So what we're looking for, that leg there, is the square root of 3x squared. And again, this has a perfect square, this does not. So this is going to equal x root 3. So this side here is x root 3. So in our 30, 60, 90 triangle, the side across from the 30 is the x. The side across from the 60 is x root 3. And the side across from the 90 is 2x. So this, again, becomes a really big deal. And just like in the 45, 45, 90 triangles, these facts are going to show up again and again and again. For right now, we're just going to use it to find missing sides. So if you have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So unlike the 45, 45, you do need to know the angles. If you're given one side, say, can you figure out the other sides? Sure. So again, this is what you need to have memorized. 30, 60, 90, x root 3, 2x. Okay, so the way you do this, and this one is just a little bit more computationally difficult than the 45, 45, 90, is you say, okay, what side do I have? 5. That's across from 30. So 5 is equal to x. This side is x root 3 because it's across from the 60, so it's 5 root 3. This side's across from the 90, so it's 2x, so it's 2 times 5, which is 10. Okay? If I have, I'll do a different one. I'll keep these all oriented the same way for now. And let's say I know this is, say, 40. Okay? I'm looking for these two sides. So across from the 90 is 40, so that means this is the 2x side, which is a pretty easy thing to solve. If 2x is equal to 40, then x is equal to 20. So this side down here is 20, right? And then this is going to be, this is the x root 3 side, so it's 20 root 3. Not so bad. Try, you know there's going to be an annoying one. 60, 30, 90. Let's say this is 8. So again, we have our x root 3, 2x, 30, 60, 90. So if we look at this, we say, oh, the 8's across from the 60. So the 8 is the x root 3. We got to figure out what the x is, right? So we're going to divide by root 3. Okay, so we have 8 root 3. Again, it's nice to rationalize. In this case, you don't really have to, but let's do it anyway. So that's our x. Okay, so this side here is 8 root 3 over 3. Across from the 90 is 2x. So it's 2 times 8 root 3 over 3, which is in fact 16 root 3 over 3. So those are your answers. Okay? Let's do some computational stuff. So again, we'll make this look the same. Let's say this is 5 root 3. Okay? So again, what you need to think of is, what side do you have? Well, I have the side across from the 90. So again, this is something you really need to get memorized. And you say, okay, I have the side across from the 90. So 2x is equal to 5 root 3. So x is equal to 5 root 3 over 2. So that's easy. I know this side, right? That's the x side across from the 30x. So this side across from the 60 is an x root 3. So that is 5 root 3 over 2 times root 3. So when I do that, and some radical stuff makes sense, I'm going to multiply these. Square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is the square root of 9. I'll show that little step. Obviously, some of you can do this in your head. The square root of 3 is 9. So 5 times 3 is 15. So it's 15 over 2. Fractions are great. If it's an easy decimal, you can certainly do that. So that side is 5 root 3 over 2. Again, I would prefer 15 over 2. That is a totally fair answer as well.